Igualada Cemetery, also known as Cemetery New in Igualada, Catalonia, Spain, was designed in 1984 by competition winners Enric Miralles and Carme Pinós. Both Spanish-Catalan architects, Miralles and Pinós began constructing the cemetery in addition to the old Cemetery Vell in Igualada. The construction of the site began in 1985 and continued until 1994, even though the triangular-shaped chapel is still unfinished. Miralles and Pinós designed the cemetery to explore the cycle of life and death, and to establish a link between past, present, and future. The final design was edited and softened to create a more sophisticated and refined intimacy between the natural landscape and the cemetery's architectural elements. The site sinks into the earth and gently slopes into a path that with time seems to have become a new site altogether, under the earth between the living and the dead. The cemetery has been described as part levee, part canal, and part city of the dead, as loculi seem to create a stage by which the living and the dead can be united. The cemetery was designed as a ceremonious plunge into the earth that is both guarded and encouraged by the landscape. The trees that line the path create a sense of procession, which contributes to the themes of life and death. A visitor's procession through the site begins at street level, with an elliptical-shaped gathering space and parking area. The descending promenade is marked by concrete retaining walls and an iron gate, and leads a visitor down alongside concrete embankments that are part retaining wall and part burial chambers. The coffins are interred into the sloping embankments, which at times slope backwards and to allow perception of the ground, and at other times to form a canopy over the procession of visitors and mourners. From this slope, one encounters a space reminiscent of the first elliptical plaza that lies on the lowest level of the subtraction. Defined by rock fragments and metal mesh, the space's perimeter houses crypts and family burial sites that are not restricted to the family pantheons of traditional cemeteries. The family sites at Igualada are interred within the perimeter's walls and allude to the similar interment of the embankments. Sadly, Enric Miralles passed away before his greatest commission, the Scottish Parliament building, was completed. He is interred at the cemetery in Igualada. Miralles and Pinós' design takes greatly into account the experiences associated with the dead and their mourners. The site addresses the journey towards acceptance and inner peace, the celebration of the dead, the mourning of loved ones, and the rituals for interment. The design for the cemetery unites form and function in a respectful and highly poetic manner, and transports a visitor to a separate and isolated location that belongs neither to death nor to life.